day, I'm on my way to pick up my baby, yeah. We both decided.
Send me a request now, Uncle.
Favorite restaurant before it gets too hot. We made a couple of stops while we window shop, just me and my baby. What a wonderful way to spend the day, walking and talking and holding hands. Walking down the street with my baby, holding hands. Walking down the street with my baby, holding hands. I like to see you smile. It makes me happy the way you hold my hand and call me daddy. And when you look in my eye, I know the reason why.
I'm gonna send you a message. Just stay on. Don't get back off.
It's a beautiful day. I'm on my way to pick up my baby, yeah. What a wonderful way to spend the day, walking and talking and holding hands.
You saw the message?
Baby, I love being your man. Walking down the street with my baby, holding hands. Love the way you hold me, show me, girl. Oh, 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 oh. Baby, I'd like to hold you. Show me. All my friends go. Baby, come on with me. Oh my.
There we are. Woo.
Oh, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, God. All that stress.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting ready to say, look, forget this stuff. Call me on a telephone, FaceTime. Quit playing. This is crazy.
Oh, hallelujah. Finally. All that shit. I don't know. There gotta be a reason. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience and thank you for those who are joining the live tonight. Please welcome legendary musician, and he is the member of the legendary group Kool and the Gang and the Dazz band, Senny Skip Martin.
How you guys doing? Oh my gosh. This has been crazy to get on here. I'm so glad we're on here. I'm glad this all
yes,
worked. It's a beautiful thing. How is everybody today? And I was already writing stuff and saying hi to people. So we'll just do it all over again. Because now the lovely host here, Marion Baker is here.
Thank you. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you. So, Senny, what does that name mean, Senny?
Well, my great grandmother was giving birth to my grandfather, and back then in those days, the hospitals were segregated for black and white, and the birthing wards were full, so they had all the ladies out in the hallway, and my great grandmother befriended a lady from Germany, and their kind of way of solidarity against that whole segregation thing, they liked each other so much that they traded names. So the German lady gave my mother the name Senny Rudolph for her child, and whatever my great grandmother was going to name that child, she gave that name to the German lady. So I ended up with I am Senny Rudolph, or German names, Senny Rudolph Martin, and I am the third. That's where it came from.
And I'm speaking of segregation. Like the Black History Month is right around the corner, and today is Martin Luther King's birthday. And we're gonna be celebrating a 3-day weekend because this man, he made a huge impact in Black history,
in world history, definitely, in world history. and being
A
black
world history
something, and
slash black history. Mm-hmm.
I'm old enough to have witnessed him. I'm old enough to have seen him on television live, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember marching before he passed with
Mm-hmm.
"We shall overcome, we shall overcome one day." You know, so I
Mm-hmm.
remember that, and I was about 6 years old, 6 or 7, and my father was an activist, teacher, English teacher, and he was, we were really doing and supporting the movement that was going on. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
the day he was killed.
Wow.
So because I was outside playing with a bunch of kids somewhere. We were in the orchard getting pomegranates or apricots or something like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
I got done and I said, well, I'm on my way home. And when I started going home, I could hear in the houses, "Oh, oh," and I go down the street and here's another house, "Ooh, ooh," and I go down another house and get into my house. I could hear the women just crying, these blood curdling cries before I got to my house. And when I got to my house, we had the black and white television. They had the news on, and the president was talking about Martin Luther King had just been shot and killed.
Wow.
And I just remember the silence and the pain and being young. I didn't quite know what was going on, but I did understand that there was a major tragedy, and this came after the tragedy of losing JFK, and this was before they killed Robert Kennedy. So like in and it was a government plan to do that, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like great men that I was looking to and kind of aspiring to were all taken from us by evil men and the government, at and it was really, I'll never forget that moment, so
Wow.
that was part of my living long enough to witness the feeling and smell the air of
Mm-hmm.
loss and the environment and feel how that was, because I felt how good they made us all feel. I couldn't understand how some take that away from us, not just black people, but from us as people. How could somebody want to take that away from us?
Exactly.
Before I
Exactly.
understood anything that had to do with politics, any of that thing.
Uh-huh.
All I white men were gone and somebody shot them. And that was crazy.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I lived through that time period, So there's a lot of things, and there's a lot of greatness. And I guess just like Jesus, he was a great man, but still there were people that didn't like him and took him
Yeah.
away from him. But what
Yeah.
we got
I look at that man. He took all that beating. He died for our sins.
yeah,
It's like, God wants everybody on this earth to be just like Jesus, whether you're a non-believer or a believer.
right. Yep. So that's what really is happening. But that story has been told, and it still resonates. They were sacrificial lambs for that purpose. So maybe they were born to be that, and that was their destiny. So I've never forgotten them, and I'm sure all the people. That's why we have a holiday here. For those of you that are young enough to understand why we have a Martin Luther King holiday, because we touch
Yeah.
so many in rightness and right. Same
Mm-hmm.
thing with JFK. He was touching so many people with equality and rights and not wanting to be in that political war in Vietnam, which is no more different than the war in Iraq and what have you. They weren't warring with us. What they were really doing was, I've been to Iraq. I played for soldiers over there. It wasn't.
What was your
We weren't.
experience? Your experience, like experience in your Iraq when you visited Iraq.
It was great. It was great by being there and playing for the troops over there. But I found out what the real deal was. It wasn't about we were over there in a battle to battle Iraq because they were trying to do this or that, so forth. Iraq had so much oil and so much money with oil that they hired our military to police their own civil unrest. It wasn't a war. They paid America money to come over there and bring all of their troops and their tanks and their guns and all of this stuff to help them maintain the peace in their country. So by the time that got back to America, we're in a war with Iraq. But what they didn't tell everybody was, no, we were hired policemen, and policemen are lost every day in the act of duty. So it wasn't like we were over there fighting them for something to get their oil or to get their this. They had the oil already, and they were paying us gazillions of dollars to bring over our troops. And so when we lost so many troops and we wanted to get out of that war, then we took, and we call it de-escalation, where they took our troops and they took our police that they had hired and paid for out of there, and then Iraq went to back to being what it was before.
Yeah.
So that's what it really was about. It wasn't like we were over there to have a war with Iraq. We were hired policemen to police their unrest.
And and if we talk about the early 2000s, Iraq was one of the most talked about countries due to what was going on out there.
Yeah, and they had so much stuff, and they all they had to do with them having different factions. And just like we have our different factions right here in America, from Republicans to independents, to all of those different factions, and one hates the other, and this one hates the other one. No, nothing is good from the other one, and nothing is good from the other one. You know, I just think, in my opinion, since we're having real talk here, that people should, we as a people, not just black people, but we as human race,
people of all minorities.
Yes, but all these people, we should at least be able to embrace a difference of opinion with understanding, and not just, you know, you don't have to favor that opinion, but you can understand their right to have a different opinion. And then
everybody needs to have some knowledge.
Yes, so let's just figure out
comes to things like this.
When differences come along, that's when change comes. That's when growth comes. Growth is never in a comfort zone. You know, growth is always something you have to strive for. That's why when you, I'm sure a lot of you young people out there, you hear the phrase, I'm going through growing pains. Because to grow, it hurts. There is no other way around it. Even a child being born is the most traumatic thing a child's ever going to feel is coming through that birthing channel out into the world. You think that shit didn't hurt? It did. But growth is doesn't come.
Is maturity. Growth is age.
Well, growth is also pain, because in order to
of course,
scenario to grow, and growth is comfortable. So
some people they're afraid of growth. Nobody it's like most people out there, they don't want to grow.
Right. Well, they don't want to be.
And it's sad.
They want to grow in a comfort zone, but growth doesn't in a comfort zone.
No.
That's growth. You know, it's not easy, but if you get through that, then you learn something and you can grow some more, and you can continue to grow and evolve and be and those type of things. So young people out there, don't be afraid to fail, because failing is what makes the trial and the effort to do something. Even if you fail, the failure is what makes the victory so sweet. So
I mean, like, you know, people overcome their biggest obstacles to, like, you know, reach to the top.
Yes. You know, so then you have to, once you overcome that obstacle, that was the lesson. And then you can gain some success and some victories, and then it tastes so sweet because you persevered and went through the trials. So, you know, be a singer with this, we'll try and practice at it and practice and try. Somebody dog me out when first starting, and you just try and keep on trying, and then you overcome that obstacle, And then after all of these years of trying and all the hundreds and thousands of different failures that I've had in my life, trying to do music, this and that, it's rewarding and it's sweet for people to say, wow, you're great. You learned how to do
Uh-huh.
it. You guys, this was legend. You know, they have no idea how many times I had to fail to
Uh-uh.
get to this and live long enough.
Yes, and speaking of failure, Uncle, you're from like, two of the most like, popular bands in the music business. Tell us how it was like being in the Dazz band and Kool in the gang, and how did you get into those two groups?
Well, I had a dream when I was, not a dream, a vision when I was 7 years old. That's where it
Mhm.
started. Because I was 7 years old and I was riding in a car with my grandparents. It was the
Mhm.
Rambler. It was a two-tone car. And, my grandparents were taking me somewhere and I'm sitting in the back seat. And I was 7. And Nat
Mhm.
King had just passed away. And they were playing on the radio, unforgettable, that's what you are. And it was like, wow. I said, wow, to myself. I said, sounds like he's in the car with us. So I said out loud to my grandmother, I said, Nana, that's what I'm going to do. And she turned around. She said, what, baby? I said, I'm going to learn how to play music so that when I die, people will feel like I'm still in the car with them.
Mhm.
So I grew up from that point on with that purpose, and what I had claimed was I was going to make music to make people remember that I was here in this vast humanity. And I made some kind of a difference. So that was my purpose starting at 7. I didn't start playing until trumpet till 11 years old, which was 4 years later. And then I practiced and practiced on something that was hard. I failed. I kept doing it, go over and over. You practice and practice. You have to fail and get back up and play it again and try it again and try it again. Did that thousands of times till now, 4 years later, I'm 15 years old and I'm good enough to be in the local band and one of the best bands in town in Sacramento. So they hired me, got me to come in the band, and I started playing professionally at 15 years of age. Now, most 15-year-olds would go to school, come home, and they go to dances, go hang out with their friends, this and that, and so forth. When I was 15, I did two things. I practiced my trumpet almost 8 hours in a day. I went to school from 7 o'clock in the morning. I had stage band.
You
Then I
had
had
a busy schedule when you was a teenager,
Yeah,
Uncle.
15, I had stage band. Started at 7. Then I went to my classes. I had 2 classes a day playing music. There were 2 hours, 4 hours. And then I was a wrestler. That was the way that I battled against civil rights and the injustice that black people were dealing with. Because then I went and did wrestling where I could wrestle white boys and wipe them on the mat legally. And that was my way
Mhm.
to get that anger off. So I would
Mhm.
do that. Then at 6 o'clock, I would come home after wrestling practice or a tournament, and I would get back home about 6:37. The guys would come pick me up at 8 o'clock to drive downtown, be there at 8:30 to start our show to do 5 or 6 sets from 9 o'clock till 2 in the morning. Then they would drive me back home. I'd get home, probably leave the club 2:15, 2:30, get back home at 3 o'clock. Then I had to be back at school at 7. And I did that
Oh,
for
wow.
high school. I did that for 4 years of high school.
Did you get enough sleep for the night? Because you
Oh,
sure had a busy
I had
schedule.
schedule, and sometimes I had to come dragging in, and the guys and the trumpet players and the band. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, here he comes. He's late." They didn't realize, shoot, I've been out all night, and
Oh,
I've been working all night. Sometimes it was harder to get up in the morning, what have you, and go to the class. But I would always find a way to get there. And then the guys who were my friends, the guys that were my musicians, they understood I had something special.
wow. Uh,
Teacher
uh,
said,
uh,
my teacher said to me from Japan, I had to deny it. Okay, so They said, Skip, I want you to take this record home and I want you to bring it back and show the trumpet players how to play these parts and these songs that we're doing in this jazz festival. I said, okay, I'll do that. But what I heard was go home, learn this so you can teach the band how to play their parts, not the trumpet players, the band. So I have this thing is called a photographic audio memory. When I hear things, I can remember it. So I went home and this has happened in one night. I learned this whole song, everybody's part. And I came back to jazz band and I knew the first trumpet part, second trumpet part, third trumpet part, alto sax, tenor sax, baritone sax, saxophone, piano, bass, and drums. I knew all of that, and I told them how to play it and attack the notes and approach the notes. So it was just like, that was the beginning of something that I didn't know that I had, but I had identified it because I thought everybody could do that. I thought everybody had that, so that's what started for me. And I had busy days and busy schedules, and I went through a lot.
Yeah.
I went through a lot of time. I went through a lot of different things in order to get to that point. And I actually went through a thing just to let the kids know and young people know, we have so much that's laid on depending on what you do when you go to college. Did you go to college, Miriam?
Yes, I did.
How many years?
How many years? 4.
Okay. So back then when you were coming up, there was a standard. Okay, so once you get out of high school, then you go to college, and you go get your education so you can learn how to do things in life. So here I am playing music in school, and one day, my mother said, I was like frustrated, and I was like, Ma, I don't know if I want to be a trumpet player. Trumpet player? Who wants to be a trumpet player for a living? Trumpet player? That's not prestigious, And my mother said,
your mom wasn't pleased with you becoming a trumpet player?
Wait, so my mother, she told me, she says, well, baby, this is what you do. I want you to make a 24-hour clock. 24-hour clock. And in that 24 hours, I want you to write down what you did during that whole 24 hours. If you watched TV for 2 hours, write that down. If you slept for 6 hours, write that down. If you ate food for 2 hours, write that down. Went to school, write it down. But fill in that clock for 24 hours.
But she just wants you to keep a daily list about your activities that you do.
No, it was not about making a list. Here's the point. She says, put all of this stuff down, what you do in a 24-hour day. This was about being a trumpet player. She said, put everything down in 24 hours a day. Then add up what you spend the most time doing in 24 hours. Whatever you spend the most time doing is what you want to do. And I added up the time having 8 hours a day playing trumpet. I said, well, so that helped me to make the decision to go through because I loved it enough to spend 8 hours in a waking day to do it.
And when you was putting out music, nowadays people will see that the trumpet represents who you really are, Uncle Skip.
Yeah, that's part of it. That definitely is part of it. It became part of me because I spent so much time with it. I spent more time with that than I spent with you, than I spent with wives, than I spent with kids, than I spent with band members, than I spent with anything. I spent more time with that trumpet than anything or anybody. And it becomes a part of you until it becomes an extension. And
it's like a symbol.
It's like an arm. A thimble is something you put on a trumpet arm. It is like an extension of me. It's attached to not something I just put on or put it on my hand. It's something that's attached to the soul. Because your soul, music to me is the sound of the soul singing.
And music is very important. Music is like education. You learn a whole lot from music.
Yeah.
When it comes to certain sentences and statements.
Well, yes, and it's a lot like talking.
Hmm.
You know, talking. As a matter of fact, while we're doing this, you guys just bear with me because I was supposed to bring up this learning tool with me while I was doing this with you, but I was trying to get on and I got a little bit frazzled. So, so got a little bit frazzled, so I missed a couple of things, and I wanted to share something with you guys while I was doing this, because this is not a time frame thing. We're just doing what we can do, right? Right?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. Those of you guys that are there, put on your recorders, whatever, because once we do this, we've done it and it's gone. All right. So, and that's what I call the God force, when you don't think about things, because all the best things in the world are already there for us. We just miss them sometimes because we try to control things. We as human beings, we try to control things.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to set this up here where you can see me and I can
Yes.
see you. Oh,
Yes.
we're good?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I see your fancy glasses.
So I can see what have you, because I travel around, and matter of fact, let me see here. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you clearly.
Okay. So I was just saying, I spent so much time playing the horn that I had some things. God gave me a gift. You are talking through your trumpet. Yeah, I am. I'm speaking through it somewhat. Like this. Here's one of my trumpets. After all of this time, I've been blessed to have my own trumpet made. You see there where it has my signature on it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is made out of Austria. And it's made out of carbon fiber and a matte brass. Then, right here is the name of my trumpet. It's called Sunset, if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a model after playing as a professional for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that I play on it, it's like an extension of my body. An extension of my body. And in order to be able to play little notes and everything, I had to learn how to play one note, which was the hardest thing. Like this. It took me years and years to be able to play a note and just hold a note, and I can go on and on. I can play it for 20 minutes like that and just hold a note. But it took
Yeah.
me time to learn the technique to be able to play and breathe at the same time and make it sound like it was one note where I wasn't breathing. So this was one of the techniques I had to learn. It took me years and hours and hours. Look at all the heart. Years and hours and hours and hours to just learn how to do that. And I had to fail, and I had to, I messed up, and pick it back up and try it again.
Uh-uh.
So I'm giving that in order to be.
Failure is no excuse. Once you didn't make it the first time, try the second time. If not the second, the third time, you get it.
Just keep on.
Right.
Maybe you don't get it after the third time. Maybe it takes 50 times.
Yeah, because you know what it is, like, God puts like, people in a challenge when like, when they put their heart in something that they want to do and they're not getting it. God wants to challenge them because God wants that person to be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so this is not just trumpet playing. This applies to anything and any lesson in life you need to learn.
Yes.
You have to be willing to struggle past the familiar, struggle past the comfortable, struggle past the convenience, struggle past the fatigue, struggle past the disappointment, struggle past the bullying, struggle
Which is
past.
very traumatizing.
Yes, all of those things can be traumatizing if you let them, but if
Yeah.
you have, and most everybody does have it. Almost everybody out here, we all have it in us to get through it. You just can't just, well, you can, but if you want the most out of your life, you don't never give up.
Yes,
I
never
was like,
give up.
now did I have a song over there for you? Did you play that song? Never give up on a good thing.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That would be
And your single People Get Ready, it speaks a lot.
yes, it does.
Uh-uh.
Very,
Uh-huh.
but while we're on this moment, I don't know if you have the song back there. Do you have Never Give Up on a Good Thing? Can you pull it up and play that in the back so people can
Sure.
hear a little bit of it? Play a little bit of
Sure.
that at this point. Can you reach it like quickly? We're going to give you a song because this song is so powerful. Is when something or somebody makes your heart sing,
And
you never give up.
Never Give Up is the name of the song.
Yes.
Correct?
With Kool and the Gang. Never give up.
Okay.
Did you find it?
Yes, I did. And I'm gonna play it right now.
Okay. So our friends out there can understand something because the words are so powerful and what we're talking about. Not the whole song, we're just listen to this, y'all.
What? This is not the song?
That's it. Listen. That's it.
Okay. There you go. Once again. And take note of this song, people. Those of you who are on my live. You're heading for the open door. Even though you found you can go. And it's they tell you they oh, they show you the way I do. I just can't let go. Oh no. Never give up on a good thing. Somebody makes your heart say, make sure say never give up on a good thing. Never give up, never give up, never give up.
That was all. That story came to me. It wasn't my song, but somebody had written that song, and I had a great producer help me with that. And he said, "Do one line at a time." But the lines, the song, so powerfully spoke to me. It's like never give up on a good thing. There you go once again. You play it out until the end. And you're headed for that open door. That means you're headed for it to quit. Even though you were looking for what you're looking for, even though you found what you're looking for, didn't anyone ever tell you? Didn't anybody ever tell you like I'm telling you now? Didn't they tell you anyone ever show you? Didn't anybody ever show you?
It has a
Oh,
whole lot of meanings.
everyone ever hold you the way I'm doing, the way I do. Just can't let go. No, never give up on a good thing. So that's what I'm saying to you. Never give up on something that makes you feel good, something makes your heart sing. No matter what anybody else says, don't give up on that good thing, and
Uh-huh.
just get
Mhm.
through
And
the door.
it's the things that you're gonna go through in life. What you put your heart and soul in, and people say that you're never gonna make it. This is not for you. Don't listen to those people
Mm-hmm.
because be different, be yourself.
Be yourself, and different is
And that's what you're put on this planet Earth for, to be yourself, not like nobody else.
right. Exactly. You don't have to. We're not here to be
Hmm. Okay, and how did you get who nicknamed you Skip, Uncle?
my father.
Oh,
My father,
okay.
he skipped, and I was just skipping around the house, jumping around the house as young kids do. Skip,
Singing,
skip, come here,
singing and dancing,
skip,
huh?
come here, skip, stop jumping,
Mhm.
skip, come. And that's where that came from. So while I'm
Uh-huh.
going to get another chord here, I'm going to keep you on the phone because I don't
Oh,
want to lose you.
okay. Oh, okay. And as I'm asking you questions, Uncle, this song "Never Give Up." What year did it come out?
Oh, I can't remember. It was the 80s sometime, and it's listed there. It probably should be, if you went to YouTube, you'll see it.
Oh, okay.
Power chord. Yeah, but it's probably out, and it came out in the 80s.
Mhm.
That was plus 20 something years ago,
Mhm.
and the message still holds true today.
Yes,
You know,
yes, it does.
life is still life, so you got to have these different things to keep on.
Hmm.
So that's a message I wanted to get to you guys. That's one of the messages, and that's
Hmm.
what I use my for is
Hmm.
say something, not
Hmm.
just we got booties in the club and they're part. That's saying something. Now tell me something else.
Yeah.
Keep going. What else can you that I can use?
Uh-huh.
Music.
Yep. Tell us about your latest single, "Nobody."
Okay, so let me see here. This is on chord. Gotta get the other one. Hold on, I'm grabbing this. I had something for I see it over there. I had something for my iPad, and now technology is so that it has changed. That it has changed the way we did it. When we plugged our phones and our iPads,
Uh-huh.
and Mac got all smart and everything. They're like, we're going to change it around, so they buy some more stuff from us. So then now you can't use the same jack anymore. I'm like, oh, this is the wrong jack. Okay, I just didn't want to lose you by losing
Uh-huh.
power. Okay, so
Mhm.
plugging it up here. Bam,
Mhm.
we're good. All right, so I won't lose you. What's the next question?
Okay, tell us about your latest single, "Nobody."
Nobody. I love Nobody because Nobody was a song that I composed and recently, and I just was doing something for a doctor, creating
Okay.
creating. He used to play keyboards when he went to college, and I was in there writing on this song, and I like to write things about love and different ways to love, romance, all of those different things. So I come up with different, themes, and that's what I will write about. This song, Nobody, I just had started working on it, and I was just thinking, well, you know, uh, every word I would say had to do with nobody makes me feel the way you do. How do you
Mhm.
make somebody them things that you think are special, and then you make whatever you say trump that. Like this vibe. Can you hear that music playing?
Yes, I can.
So I was thinking about lady, and I would say, your pretty smile and sexy face, girl. Nobody else can take your place. Nobody but you. All the things that you say, there's nobody else compares to you. Nobody, baby, has seen in exotic places. Seen about around, seen a million faces. They would change, my drink would change. Nobody makes me feel the way you do. Nobody, baby. And that's how I compose songs, thinking about words that describe the sentiment of what I'm trying to get at. Nobody makes me feel the way.
And speaking of like that, so tell us about like your solo albums that you put out throughout the years.
Well, I've been fortunate. I have to date about 65 albums. But I just either I sing it through my trumpet, or I'll sing it through with my voice. And I, it's no longer like practicing it to deliver what I want to say. I put so many hours, thousands and thousands of hours, years of hours, decades of hours, not a couple years, not 2 years, decades of hours of practicing, so that I could get to the point to just be able to convey what my soul is feeling. And so I enjoy doing that, but I'm at 65 albums now. Here's something special. A new one. Let's see if you guys like this one. Let me see. Can you hear that?
Yes, I can hear it very well.
Okay, let me see. My heart cannot forget. I can't help myself. I don't want anyone else. No. With this life and purpose, and everything I do. The times you've been so special. Oh. Another use another love. Oh. I'm so I'm gonna give you my all. But when you fall, baby, I'm so look into my eyes and see all the land you'll ever need. 'Cause I'll be there to show you fire and give you a heart you can rely on all the time. I will show you passion you can feel and change up pretend for real. Yeah, I'm gonna give you an honesty, and this is how life is gonna be for us, for always. 'Cause I'm so I'm gonna give you my all. Catch you when you fall. I'm so Look into my eyes and see all the man you'll ever need. I'm gonna give you my all. Whoa! I'm so
You play these songs because most of the people have forgotten about your single, so you just reminded them.
So, do I get any hearts or anything? I want somebody to say something. You know what? Okay.
Oh,
All right, that's good.
oh, it's amazing. I mean, all your songs are amazing, Uncle.
So I just try to do different things and show people different.
Yes.
And, you know, give everybody a vibe. And, you know, tell the story. So after all these years, you know, playing songs and and being with Dazz Band and being with Kool and the Gang, it's a blessing to have gone from one to another. And I got with Kool and the Gang because I had been out and I had a Grammy Award and a gold platinum record with Let It Whip, Dazz Band, all that stuff. And we
and like, you know, that's one of, like, you know, the main songs that people go hard for. Let It Whip. They start dancing and grooving. You know, dancing is good for the soul.
Exactly. Which is why
a celebration. Get
celebrate
down on it. Ladies' night.
Good. Ladies' night. You know, I always try to do things that, you know, bring stuff, use my music to convey a message, you know, to give something to think on and to have fun with.
Yes.
And to feel. And so now at this stage of my life, I don't just live on, you know, celebration. I did that and with, you know, man, and Let It Whip and Joyce, you know, I just do different things and want to feel good. You know, do you guys like to feel good out there? You know, I like to feel good and music gives me a way to feel good. So, you know, some people ask me, well, are you going to retire? I'm like, well, why would I want to retire from something I love doing so much?
And you know, I hope that, you know, you release some 50 more albums, Uncle. And it's going to happen. You know, I'm telling you.
I'm going to keep doing it because as old as I am, I still like to dance. Wait a minute. Let me see. I like to dance. I like to move.
Oh, you making me groove now, Uncle.
Little vibe right here. This one has this kind of thing to it. It goes,
I'm grooving on this Sunday.
Yeah. I wanna dance with you. I wanna see you move. I wanna dance with you. Wait a minute. I saw your face, baby. You walked with you, made my move. Yeah, see what you do. Turn me on, baby. And I just wanna dance with you. Baby, come on. I like the music. I see you like it when you dance to the dance floor. I can dance with you. The beat is bumping. And all I really want to dance. Come on with you. I wanna dance with you. Baby, let's get the song. Yeah. I wanna know you more. And I wanna see you move. I wanna. And anyway, that's another vibe. So I wanted to keep it a little. I always like to come up
dance with you.
You know, make people want to dance and you know want to feel something. So you know, I appreciate you guys out there for listening and you know what? I have one here. I mean, I do all kinds of songs. And let me see here. Well, I like to do all kinds of songs. I like to do all kinds of music that's not just party music. you got to have songs and music
Uh huh.
that gives people
It
something to think about.
teaches people something. Yeah.
Yes.
Especially when it's based on life.
Yes. How many of you out there are going through changes with your your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your
Mhm.
wife, your brother, uh, your sister? Sometimes we don't always get along, and things can, make us feel a certain kind of way sometimes.
Yes.
But you keep on going. You just have to keep
Hmm.
on going.
And that's some of, like, the thing that we hear most in music, Uncle, about, like, somebody that, you've been with for years, you trusted, and, like, did you dirty, broke your heart.
Right.
That's common in R&B music.
Yep. You have to just continue on.
Hmm.
Wait a minute. Okay, let's see. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Why is it not? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Okay. All right. Do this. Let me do this. Yeah, because sometimes you just have to. I write songs to make things, make people feel like, well, sometimes it don't always go the way we want it to. But
Yeah.
you just have to stay true to yourself
Hmm.
and let things grow. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay, now I got it. So since I've got it, I'm setting this up here. This, I'm going to show you this. Let me see. So here's a song. Here's a deal. Something that. Let me see. Things change sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now I turned it down. Is this good? Can you hear that?
Yes, yes. It's like, Uncle, immediately, like, when this song is playing, people will know that a story is being told, a situation has happened.
Yes. So this is what I'm going to show you on this one. Let me see. This is a story. I had a girl that I really loved one time, and she always would mess around and try to be all super squirrel and stuff, all kind of other little stuff.
Yeah.
So this song I dedicated to her. Lying days are through. Some tell me what is really going on. Just listen now and don't make a sound. I'll tell you what is really going on. Take a walk through every part of town. I can see where you've been messing around. Love now has died with every lie. Some tell me what's really going on.
That sound makes most people want to cry.
take a walk through every part of town. I can see where you've been messing around, baby. With every line, won't you tell me what's really going on? So tell me what is really going on.
Yeah, what happened to us? We're not the
So
same as we used to
tell me
be.
what is really going on. I just want to convey a message.
And you know, like I was saying, this makes most people cry. People who've been through a divorce, who've been through a breakup, who lost a loved one. It speaks
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. So music is a sport.
Uh-huh.
Music is something that will
And you
change.
know, music is therapy. Music
Yes,
is a teacher.
yes, it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's what I try to do as much as I can and do some teaching. And are you guys still out there or am I boring you? You guys still out there? I don't see any hearts or
I
any
mean,
messages.
yeah, they're enjoying this, Uncle. They're enjoying this.
So I just try to do what I can and bring things in to, let people, hear some things, let people and some things. And then, you have to also stretch your boundaries from things that you might think are unfamiliar. I just did a song in Japanese and English.
Oh yeah, and speaking and like I was gonna get into that. I see that you recently visited Tokyo, Japan, and your connection with the people, especially the children, is like impeccable, and that's what I love to see.
Yeah.
You know, and when it comes to like the Asian culture,
Mm-hmm.
they love music. They love classic music. If you see records back in the days, it's like most of them they're written in Chinese, Japanese, and Mandarin.
Mm-hmm. They love it. They love it. And I think,
And tell us about your experience, like when you visit Tokyo, and like what the students like gained from you, Uncle.
I enjoy being around them and teach them certain things. And one of the things that my manager over there, she was trying to call while we were doing this. I had to call her back. But there was a lot of things that go on with it, with music over there. It helps to teach them about our culture, and it teaches them about meaning of music beyond the notes on the paper. They're very analytical. They think about everything, and the process is very slow, thought out, and But music is really something that's like God for us, kind of react and bleed it out. The more you think about it, the less funky it is, the less sincere it is.
Hmm.
The more you try to
Yeah.
less the less pure it is. So I remember one day my manager, I had done a seminar with about 300 kids. The kids were about 50 of them were 3-year-olds, and they brought the 3-year-olds in wagons. They had 6 of them in a wagon. They looked like little bowling pins. They bring them in, and their heads would all turn around the same time. They're looking at you. They speak Japanese. They don't even understand English. And
Hmm.
so I'm over here talking to them. I'm playing with them with the puppet. And I've got all this, and I'm A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I'm having fun with the kids. H, I, J, K. And I had to put the element
Oh.
off. And they're just like laughing. They're just laughing their butts off. So when I left, and we did songs like, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray." So I'm singing these songs for them. It makes them participate. Then it also teaches them English. Then it also gives them a connection to me,
Uh-huh.
this Mr. Martin-san. So my manager called me from Japan, and she was crying. I
Hmm.
said, "Well, what's wrong?" She says, "You don't know what you've done. And I said, I didn't do anything. What you talking about? She says, no. What I'm trying to tell you is I got a letter back from one of the schools about your seminar today. And the letter said, we want to thank Mr. Martinson for coming over here to give our children the impression of a Black man that they will never forget.
Mm-hmm.
That was powerful and poignant because being a white, Black, Mexican, whatever racist, not racist person, I was just Martinson. But it gave them an impression that they will never forget, because when they get older, they grow up. And the youngest ones were 3, the oldest ones were 12. So these kids, in 10 years, they'll be 22 years old and 13 and this and that. And they'll be going into young adulthood with a memory that was imprinted in their mind of Martin.
Yeah.
And what I enjoy doing, to be able to, I don't waste my time. Well, I say I don't waste my energy.
Yeah, you shouldn't waste your energy into something that's not necessary, into something that won't, like, lead you somewhere.
Right. Or will not lead somebody else somewhere. When the kid's now 18 years old, why put the energy in trying to convince them of something that they already have their minds made up? So one like little ones that have a clean canvas, give them something to think about, and then they'll grow up without judgment. So, and then that's when I'm older and I can't, walk into the classroom. Reward for me will be when one of those who was 3 years old, or one of them that was 5 or 7 years old, who's now 27 years old, comes over to me to push me in the wheelchair. Mr. Martinson, I remember you came to my class when I was 6. Okay. And I maybe put something into their psyche. So that's what my gift has given me, the opportunity to do more than just song. To give things and play my trumpet. I'm not going to live forever on what I have done. I keep making music. No, it doesn't have to be. I don't have to be like Kim. I don't have to be like Silk Sonic. I don't have to be like Beyonce. I just be myself. And I really don't even care.
Musician is different.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be on the big radios and they're playing all over. I can get some stations, play it for people, and touch people with it. I'm good, because I've already had my, so let me show you this. I think, let me see. I think I can show you. This is part of my Japanese vibe. I did this to help to reconstruct a castle that burnt down in COVID. So this is a community effort to help the community rebuild this.
Yep.
I only need a guiding mind. You no casini, inori sei carice tu can I itani na udomu na ikute Tirami again, he got it. Miari thoughts, nagu. Story no macheni, so kitachi, oh kitachi, mina. Day, kita omori. I know he'll be there. Chiki, oh, Chika Sakashi, Piccolo, Urashima, So that's the Japanese part of the scenario. Now,
That's the recent song that you put out in Japanese, because I see that you put out a Japanese single, and you and with a music video.
Swing of the trees as the earth takes a moment to breathe. Wishing fullness of the people and the island, let us live in peace and harmony. You taught me how to find my joy in little things, to never take anything for granted, and
so I just want to give you a piece of that. Okay.
And it's a blessing that Japanese, and you're able to sing a song in Japanese. And let me tell you, when I was younger, I read a book on Tokyo, and the book talked about the culture, the food, places, and I'm looking back, I was like, man, oh man, I really enjoyed that book. If I could read that book again,
and
I would love to visit Tokyo.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Japan is, and so I just had to do something that was, like I said, uncomfortable. Learn how to mimic and sing this song in another language. And for those who don't know how to do anything, the best way to do it, the most successful way to learn something that you don't know, is the same way we learned how to walk. We learned how to walk from watching people walk. So we copied and we mimicked them. We learned how to talk from listening in whatever language it is.
And learn it. It's the first time. It's when you're a toddler, you learn Dada, Mama, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and before you could walk, you have to crawl first.
Yes, and you learn it by mimicking. That's how
that's how toddlers do. They mimic.
And everybody. So anybody beginning something, if you want to learn.
And people even mimic you when you have an accent, or when you have a funny voice, and which is not nice. But if you say in a joking manner,
make sure that my voice sounds a little bit like you. Do you hear I'm mimicking your words? I mimic because I know I don't speak your African language, but I do say that. So I try to say the words like you say. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. That's how they learn. And that's how people out there, we will learn. Whatever you want to do, mimic somebody else that's good at it. Whatever you want to learn, copy them. And think about it. Just copy them. Do what they do. Simon Says, do what they do, and you'll get it. It's a quick way to learn.
And that's what we learned when we were young. Simon Says,
do
whatever Simon tells you to do.
Exactly. So you do it in your best way, that you can, and try to, because this is a school song called "You're Gonna Learn Tonight." You're gonna learn. This is a mimic whatever somebody says. If you want to learn something, if you want to learn something to happen, this song is called "Learn Tonight," and you're gonna get an education right here. I'm gonna tell you, this is a brand new song. Wait a minute. I've been waiting a long time to be with you. No more holding back. I'm letting go. I just want you to know. Reading that oven for some good old-fashioned loving. Curvy brain, sexy face. I just can't wait to taste. Oh no, you're gonna learn tonight. You're gonna learn tonight. gonna get it right, baby. Let me show you, yeah. I'm gonna give you something you won't forget. Gonna make you holler, make you bounce, make you quit. I've been waiting a long time just to get you. No more holding back, letting go. I just want you to know I'm gonna teach you something, baby. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me show you, yeah. Let me teach you how good it feels, yeah. Let me show you my love for real, baby. Let me take you to paradise and teach you tonight. You're gonna learn from me. See, oh, baby, I can't wait for you to see. Baby, 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 whoa. I got something special for you. I just wanna let you know I adore you. You're gonna learn your ABCs. It's all about the birds and all about the bees, baby. Oh, yeah, yeah. I've got something that I want to show you. It ain't no Zoom, we're in the same room, baby. We're gonna get it right, yeah. Just a little something I want to show you.
And let me tell you something. You could finish that sentence in many different words, Uncle. You could finish that sentence in many different words.
Okay.
You gonna learn tonight to respect me. You gonna learn tonight to act right. You gonna learn tonight not to disrespect the people I love. I mean, you could put that. You could finish that sentence in so many different words.
Yes. Yes. That's how we do it. So that's a song right there to give that thought, that sentiment. So many things, you know, and that's good. Well, you said that. That was a good way.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I just wanted to share with you some of these things. I'm so glad to spend this time with you, and I've had this time.
Yes, same here, same here. You know, we waited for a while, and the Instagram was giving us a hard time, but I thank God, I thank the Almighty up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thank the man up there for giving us this opportunity to see each other face to face, and for me to have you as a special guest on my podcast. I enjoyed our conversation. I learned a lot from you, Uncle.
Well, that's good.
And I want to thank the people on here who joined the live. And what do you have to say to the people, Uncle?
I just wanted to say, stay blessed. Learn that the best gift in life, the best way to collect low-bearing fruit, and that's success in life, is to give something to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Give something that is precious. Give it. Because when you give it, it's like when you give something, it's like giving something to a mirror. The reflection comes back at you and you get it back tenfold. So give something. Don't always worry about, well, what am I going to get for my effort? Give it. And God and the universe will
be a giver, because that's what God loves. God loves a giver.
Yeah, give. Just give. Let me see. Wait. I got something I'm going to give you before I go, because I got to get out of here. I got stuff to do. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you a song here. This is called Funky Horn. Well, well, oh, I touched something else. See, I know I was going to touch something. Wait a minute, wait. I touched it. Trying to get my phone stood up here. Let me see. I know it's late there, Miriam. I know it's late.
No. Not out here in New York, it ain't late. I'm enjoying the beat and I'm grooving. Thank you to everybody who joined. Woo!
All right, y'all.
That was a bad one right there. It just makes your soul feel good.
That's a good thing.
Hey,
I thank you guys.
Before I let you go, Uncle, there's this one song
What is that?
years ago that you put out in Spanish, like, a very soulful song, the very, like, when you slow dance and stuff, and Spanish music is like,
Called Careless Whisper.
Oh, yes. Tell us the story behind that single.
Well, I had done Careless Whisper because I really liked George Michaels and Wham. Careless Whisper of good friends, and I just decided to sing it like in Spanish, like they do in New York. So this is how it goes in Spanish, but then I did a change to it. El tiempo nunca puede curar. Quieres las palabras de amigos, el corazón y las mentes. Gracias poder para no pasarse la verdad del dolor. Es lo único games, but we're never gonna dance again. So that's Careless Whisper in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did was I took that song, and I love the music so much that I wrote a whole nother song with different lyrics. And I put those lyrics in English. And I called the song Careless. And it goes like this. Baby, fly away with me to Rio, making love across the sky a mile high. Open up the doors and all the windows. Everyone could hear the sound of music. You and I. Baby, help me light 100 candles, illuminating all your time and sexy style. Playing only good and sexy music. Get us in the mood. Then taking a drive and moving. Take out the way we used to be. Baby, let's fall in love again. Remember when get into our desire. My love is magic. Being pulled across the ocean by a whale in a boat we both left to sail. Baby, you can play a game of hide and seek, just you and me. Find the treasures hidden deep, way down underneath. Baby, let's fall in love again. Baby, just you and me. Do you remember when? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Put it right there, baby. Right there. Baby, let's make a deal. A memory will always be. Yeah. Let's play a game of hide and seek. You and me, baby. Baby, can we fall in love again? Do you remember when? Oh, let's make out the way we used to do. Together, baby, let's be. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you just I mean, like, great for the soul, great for the soul. Have you sang other songs rather than in Japanese and Spanish?
No other languages. English, Japanese, Spanish. That's it so
Oh,
far.
okay. Oh, okay. So, download his new single, y'all, Nobody,
Yes.
and Uncle will definitely be looking for the new 50 albums and the new 50 singles.
Yeah. So much. And you guys have a great night tonight. I know it's later there in New York and from wherever you other people are. Thank you guys for coming in. And you can reach me. Just go to my Skip Martin Music on Instagram, on Facebook. You can go to my website,
Mm-hmm.
skipmartinmusic.com. You can, just go to YouTube and go to my channel, Skip Martin. And let's stay in touch. Let's keep this going.
All right, Uncle. Yes,
Our
most
fans,
definitely.
if you're feeling me, what have you, send me a message, DM me, or whatever, and give me a contact so we reach each other and let's keep a relationship. Okay?
Yes,
So
yes. God bless.
God bless you, and you have a great
Thank
night.
you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay, and you guys enjoy your time out there, Miss Miriam. All right.
All right.
Okay, so for those of you watching, thank you for tuning in, and remember my
Thank
phrase:
you all so much.
don't play no games. I'll talk to you
Yes.
later.